we're going to be testing the new ND filters out for the Insta360 X5. This is a really cool leap forward in the world of action cameras and 360 filming, because up until now there's nobody who's ever invented ND filters for a 360 camera. But look how shiny these bloody things are. These are the ND filters for Insta360 and they're going to go on my X5. We're going to put them on in a second and we're going to test it out and see what it looks like and how we can get some more cinematic footage. You know, what are ND filters and why should we even consider using them? They are basically like sunglasses for your camera. These cameras are amazing as they are out the box. The thing is, if you want to get more realistic videos, you need to be able to adjust the exposure, the shutter speed manually. Now the cameras do a great job of this already. A lot of the time the footage just looks too sharp and almost unrealistic, I think. Now you can get ND filters for all sorts of action cameras already with just a single lens, and that's how you achieve a more cinematic look. Like you'll usually see it on either action sports or footage that has like speed in it. You'll see that natural blur effect around the footage and it just looks so much better. So to be able to have that on a 360 camera is next level. What it allows us to do once the ND filters are on, it enables us to adjust the shutter and exposure manually so we can slow things down and let less light into this camera and manipulate the light that's being taken into the camera, which then will hopefully give us some better shots. So I have a selfie stick. We're going to go ahead and put the ND filters on now, and we're going to hang this bad boy out the window, try and get some cool shots and see what it looks like. Before I put the ND filters on this, I'm going to do a run in the car on fully automatic mode, 8K 30 frames a second, everything is automatic. Let's see how this looks. So as you can see, the image here is very sharp compared to what it's going to look like with the ND filters. So that's what the footage looks like, all automatic. We're going to now put the ND filters on, see how we can tweak things and make it look better. Probably worth pointing out as well that it is a little bit overcast at the minute. So ND filters are usually best when it's like bright blue sunshine and the sun is really, really beaming down. But we probably will be able to get some pretty cool effects even today. So I've got a couple of sets of ND filters here. I've got ND16, ND32 and ND64. So we're going to start ND16, which is the lightest one of the three. Put these on, literally, they just clip on like the lens guards do. Clip on. One. So once you put them on, so it also comes up on the screen here. It's asking me to select which ND filter I'm using. So I click ND16, confirm, and now we'll adjust the settings. So when it comes to adjusting the settings manually when you put your ND filters on, a good rule of thumb is that your shutter speed should be double your frame rate. So I'm currently filming at 30 frames a second. So theoretically, the shutter speed should be 1/60, and then from there we can adjust the ISO, so we can then fine-tune things. Now sometimes we may have to increase that shutter speed just to adapt to the lighting conditions, like I might have to today, but let's see what we go with. So just notice how much less sharp this image is and how much more realistic it's starting to look. Okay, so now this is ND32, so going a little bit darker, and let's see what this looks like. So I can see the shadows and the blacks are starting to get a little bit dark, which is great, and the sky is not as overexposed. It actually looks super realistic, as well as the movement at the side of the camera. Alright, so now we've got ND64 on. So this is the strongest ND filter we have. Let's go give it a rock. So as you can see, it's starting to get a little bit dark for my liking here, but we could bump the ISO up to bring that light back into normality, but it looks really good. The actual motion blur looks absolutely epic and super realistic. So that was my first comparison test, testing out the new ND filters for the Insta360 X5. As you can see, it makes a massive effect as to how realistic the videos look when it comes to super exposed lighting situations. This probably wouldn't work so well in darker shaded areas, but when you've got super blue sky or the clouds are all blown out and overcast, you can really drop that shutter speed down and really enhance your videos with these new accessories. I think it's awesome. They just clip on, they're super easy to use. And if we put the footage side by side, as you can see, the footage with no ND filters is drastically different to that with the ND filters on. You can just sense a more realistic feel to what the human eye is used to and recognizes. Without using ND filters, I just think the footage is super sharp, really, really overly sharp. And that's just the AI doing its thing. I'm not saying it looks bad by any means, but I personally love the feel and the look of the videos when ND filters are used. I think it creates a more cinematic feel and it's much more realistic. But yeah, hope that was useful, guys, and hope you found it interesting. I will leave all useful links below, including a link to my video settings cheat sheet, which is a one-page cheat sheet with all my favorite settings on for any action camera. But any questions on ND filters or any other accessories for Insta360 or shooting 360 videos, pop them in the comments. See you in the next video.